welcome back to Crusader Kings 3, and today we're gonna have to fight some more Vikings, because at the end of the last episode, the Northman army is once again attacking us, and I did realize it's also winter. We're at the end of December, so I do wonder if the AI times this properly, because of course all of their units will get that bonus, because they do have Winter Soldier. So we're gonna have to fight against them. They do have 8,800 units, we only have 6,000. Let's go ahead and call on my house member, Duchess Grain. Duchess Grain, isn't that the name of my wife? It is, but she's also a different woman. Okay, let's go ahead and call her to the war. How many men does she have? She has 1,400, so that would almost be enough. And unfortunately, we could call some allies to join the war as well. Sweden, I think Sweden are busy right now. Yeah, Sweden are already in a war, so I'm not going to call them. What about the Isles? The Isles aren't currently in any wars, so I'm going to go ahead and request them join. And they have 3,300 men, so that's plenty. What about Mon? They only have 600. I don't think I'm going to call them into the war. I think if we call them into the war, it's going to weaken them quite a bit. What I will do, though, is we need to go ahead and raise our army and take them up to Ulster, because I think that's where they're attacking. No, they're attacking Munster this time, so that's down here. Okay, they've changed their strategy and we have 3 armies, so let's go ahead and unpause, and hopefully we can also reform the faith later today. We'll have to see what happens though. Someone does die in my dungeon. Who was he? Asatru Norse. Good riddance. Ally joins the war. There we go. Duchess Grain does in fact join the war. Excellent. She's looking a little bit sick there. Hopefully she recovers soon. To the benevolent High King Fairchild of Ireland. There we go. And the Isles also joined the war. So we go ahead and look at the numbers now. We have 10,000 to their 8,000. Hopefully we should be able to win this. Of course, numbers aren't everything, and we will have to still work hard to try and beat them. We have returned from our pilgrimage as well, just in time to come and fight back the Vikings. My journey has been a long one, but I have finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the priors and abbots treat me. I have undergone the journey of a holy man, and they insist it has changed something about me, whether I can see it myself or not. It is good to be home. So we don't get a trait there, sadly. We do get the Northerner Menace, though. A horde of disjointed pirates, landless freemen, desperate lesser children, and other assorted miscreants have joined Steerborn in his proposed assault against my holdings. So there's the leader of the Northman army here. 45-year-old guy. Getting on a bit. Bit old for war, is he not? Although the size of the force is formidable, they lack discipline or loyalty, each with scrounged mercenary focused exclusively on what they can get out of the war first and foremost. Unlike a conventional foe, it might be possible to simply deal directly with the invaders. Perhaps a bargain could be struck. Now, we could pay them off. That's a lot of money, though. Or we could give them land. None of those I'm happy with. We do have this third option, which doesn't stress us out, so we can pick this one as well. You fight the Nords the old-fashioned way. Just like my grandfather and his father before him, we will go ahead and fight the Northman invaders off here. We'll banish these invaders as we've always done. Indeed we will. And we have built a fortified tribal hold in Dublin, so we might even be able to build a new building here. There we go. Now that's at max level. Let's see. Is there anything here that gives us taxes? That would be the trading post. We could upgrade this. No, we can't, because we don't have city planning. We don't have barracks. We don't have the mots. We don't have barracks. Okay. We're going to have to wait on some innovations to be able to do that. Now, do you see the Northman army anywhere? I don't see them yet, but they will arrive somewhat soon. So we're going to have to be patient here and wait for them to attack. We can ask our head of faith for gold. Let's go ahead and do that. Spend some... Actually, maybe we shouldn't. We should save our piety. Let's not go ahead. We're not going to ask our head of faith for gold. We need the piety for that reformation. We are going to form Irish insularism, hopefully, this episode. And there we go. The Vikings are here. Let's see. This looks like they're trying to land in Lochgarman. Hopefully these guys can come and reinforce in time. If they do, that would be useful. We might be able to catch some of the army. There we go. We're in battle already. This might be bad timing here. We might actually lose this. Leinster is under siege. Hopefully enough of our allies do join in time To the sensible High King Fairchad of Ireland, I have been corresponding with your Chancellor, High Chieftain Fairchad, and I must say I have come to see you in a new light. Perhaps you are even someone that I would one day be proud to call my friend. King Eluid, the Foolish of England. Oh gosh, what a title to have. You are married to... Is she a part of my dynasty? I'm not quite sure. I forget how we're tied to the English. I think we're lower down. We're married to one of the vassals. Your silver tongue is shining today, Felchad. King Eluid gains 30 opinion of us for 5 years. That's very nice. Allies, please hurry. And we do need your assistance here. And another prisoner dies in our dungeon as well. That's all good. I'm sure we'll get plenty of prisoners from this battle. And there we go. We have defeated the Northman army. Let's go ahead and look at the details there. How many people did we lose? Hopefully not too many. We actually took a lot of wound casualties there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 champions wounded. But luckily we didn't lose anyone. And we can go ahead and enforce our demands here. So what do we get? He gives us 0 gold. He spends 350 prestige. We get 150 prestige to share. He loses Viking Exile. He loses 500 gold. We get 350 prestige. And reprieve from Scandinavian adventurer for 5 years. Somehow this character has won a measure of respite from the relentless Viking hordes. Will not be attacked by landless Scandinavian adventurers. Let's go ahead and enforce our demands there. There we go. And we can disband our army. And Ireland is once again safe from the Norse. Although we still do have the Danelaw to the east and of course the Isles. But that's a problem for another time. Now, should we host a feast to celebrate? I think our feast is on cooldown. Yeah, our feast is on cooldown until 9:31. Still another 3 years. I think 3 years would be a little bit of a late, too late to host a feast of celebration. Why don't we go ahead and look at insularism? And we can spend a little bit of time here thinking about what we would want to create as our religion. Just so we have a number of piety, a number that we can save towards. So, of course, we would be Irish Insular. Name doesn't matter so much. The tenet, I don't think I'm going to change to stray too far. Courtiers can take the vows and become a monk. Makes temperate a virtue. Temperate is stewardship and gives us a health boost. Makes gluttonous a sin. I think I'm okay with that. The pleasures of fine food and drink only serve to distract us from service to the divine. Isolating ourselves in remote monasteries is the best way to avoid these temptations. And here I was speaking about hosting a feast. Vows of poverty. Rulers can decide to make a vow of poverty, reducing monthly tax income, but increasing monthly piety gain. It makes generous a virtue, but makes greedy a sin. Money corrupts the hearts of men and pushes them away from the true faith. We must shun the acquisition of material wealth if we are to focus on what really matters. See, I don't want to stray too far from what insularism is, so I think I'm okay with that one as well. Now we do have rights. New faiths keep their old head of faith on creation. Christian faiths with ecumenism keep it on creation. So what is this? Our religious leaders have historically been engaged in interfaith dialogues to increase cooperation among the different Christian denominations. Okay, that's good. Consider other faiths that share the head of faith to be astray rather than hostile. That's also good because we do have Catholic neighbours, of course. And then all insularists, opinion of same faith plus 5, head of faith opinion minus 10. Faith, creation and reformation cost minus 25%. That's huge. Our beliefs are not so very different from those of our mother faith. Why should we quibble over specifics when we agree on the major points of doctrine and most importantly, the ultimate authority for arbitration? So I think I'm okay with the tenet. The doctrines is where most of the change is going to happen. So view on gender. So let's see, enables laws, male only, male preference, succession. Now this is the big one I want to change. I want to change this to equal, because then we can have equal succession. Men and women are equal in succession. All rulers can have concubines, and we don't care about concubines though, because we don't do that. It is foolish to deny skilled people a role in government purely because of their gender. We shall allow all who are able to govern in our society. So we're going to put that on equal. Religious attitude, pluralist. Adherents of other faiths will have opinion penalties of 50%. County conversion speed minus 20%. Counties of other faiths are less likely to join factions. Reduce danger from heresies and winning in a holy war. It is utter folly to say that there is only one right interpretation of divine will and that all other views are wrong. Each of us has our own way of worshipping God. I think I'm okay with that. What do these do? Okay, and what's the fun? I think we're just going to keep pluralist, that's fine. Clergy, tradition, theocratic. Temple holdings are leased out to the holder's realm priest, who then serves them as a theocratic vessel, or lay clergy. Secular rulers directly control their own temple holding. I think I'm going to keep this as theocratic. Only section priors can be entrusted with upholding our faith's doctrines and by extension with managing and caring for our sacred places. I realise this might take a while to read through this. And then of course head of faith is going to be spiritual. So we're going to have the Pope. So we can get free gold in future. I think that's good. Let's keep the head of faith. The physical world and the spiritual world are not alike. We must ensure the spiritual world has its own leader to guide us and protect our faith from being profaned by the physical desires. So we're going to keep that. I think the big one we're going to change really is view on gender. That's the big one I wanted to change. I'm not too worried about everything else. Marriage type monogamous. I do want to keep this. Marriage is a sacred bond between two individuals. Attempting to form such a bond with multiple people at once is sacrilege. We will keep that. Bastardry legitimization. Bastards can be legitimized if their house head or dynasty head approves. I think that's okay. Marriage is holy, so children born outside of it must be blessed in another way if they are to be considered legitimate. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep that. Divorce must be approved. Characters are allowed to divorce their spouse if their spiritual head of faith approves, or house head if no spiritual head of faith exists. So the Pope has to approve divorce. While the bonds of marriage should not be taken lightly, extenuating circumstances can sometimes make divorce a necessity. We'll keep that as it is. Consanguinity. That word. Marriage between cousins, aunts, nephews, and uncles and nieces is allowed. Sexual relations between cousins, aunts, nephews, and uncles and nieces will not give the incest secret. As long as they are not directly related, family members are permitted to marry each other for the good of the dynasty. I'm not a fan of that, I'll be honest. Just the way I play. I know it's optimal for getting good traits and stuff, but we're kind of role playing. Let's see. That's unrestricted. That's between cousins. That's between cousins. Let's go for close kin taboo. We can always change this if we don't have enough piety as well. It is a sin against God to permit two relatives to marry each other or engage in sexual relationships. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That does put us over our faith allowance, so we'll have to see. Let's actually put that back to normal for now, and we can come back and change that if we choose to. Now, crime doctrines. Same-sex relations are shunned. What does that mean? It's not criminal. So, characters who are caught practicing behaviors that are shunned by their faith lose a level of devotion and gain a corresponding fame trait. This trait would be disliked by everyone whose faith considers that behavior to be either shunned or criminal. Oh, okay. So we'll keep that as it is. Male adultery. So female adultery is criminal, so surely male adultery should be criminal as well. If we're going for equal views on gender, I think we have to change this one. So let's go ahead and make that criminal as well. It's only fair. Deviancy is also criminal. It is clear that there's only one proper way to love another. Any deviations from that form are sinful and should be punished. We'll leave that. Kinslaying. Dynastic is criminal. Okay, that's the most serious it can be, which is good. Let's keep that. Witchcraft is also criminal. The witch trait. Diplomacy -1, intrigue. Failchild dabbles in subjects many would consider occult. We'll leave that as criminal, because we are still in 928. Now, clerical function. Arms and pacification. Domain tax is -5% popular opinion. Our priors are entrusted with ensuring that the poor and downtrodden have sufficient food and shelter when they cannot provide it for themselves. I like this. I think that's good for the good of Ireland. Let's keep that. Clerical marriage. Marriage is a holy institution, and priors should be able to take part in it just like any other faithful adherent. Members of the clergy are allowed to marry. Again, we're going to keep that. Now, clerical gender is set to only men. Only men can be granted temple holdings or serve as court chaplains. Let's go ahead and change that to either. Gender has no influence on who can be granted temple holdings or serve as court chaplains. Anyone who has felt the call of the divine should be able to serve as priors, no matter their gender. Let's go ahead and pick that. And then clerical appointments, spiritual for life. The head of faithful clergy appoints all realm priests or court chaplains. So that's the Pope. And the realm priest or court chaplain have their seat for life. Abbots are servants of the divine, and as representative of the divine, the choice that the clergy makes for the position is final and absolute. So I think I'm happy with this. This would cost us 3,750 piety, which we do have enough for. We have changed male adultery to criminal. Clerical gender is now on either. Oh, I missed the scroll thing. We've also changed view on gender to equal. That's the only things we've changed, but it's still going to cost us 3,750 piety. I think that's fair. Now we got to do the fun of naming it. So, we're going to call this Irish Insularism. I think that's how you spell it. Adjective, would it just be insularist? I'm not so sure. I think so. Insularist. Single follower, again, would just be insularist. Or it'd be Irish insularist, right? Irish, so we don't confuse it with the old faith. Irish insularist. Can I copy this? I can, there we go. And then if we do multiple, just add an S. So what do we call this? Insularism was reformed in 928 AD by... Oh, I can't see my name. Damn it. Let's just say insularism was reformed in 928 AD to better... Oh, I don't know how to word this. I'm very poor with stuff like this. This is going to eat up. It was streamed in 928 AD with the unification of Ireland, looking to create a fair and something place to live. I don't know. Insularism was reformed in 928 AD with the unification of Ireland, seeking to form a kingdom that is better for all. There we go. That was stand. It's fine. So insularism was reformed in 928 AD, the unification of Ireland, seeking to form a kingdom that is better for all. There we go. And we can change the color. Let's go for... I say we could go for a nice white. Catholicism is white. But no, let's go for a green. What kind of green? Maybe this kind of green. This kind of green looks good. There we go. Your old faith will consider you hostile. Really? This faith deviates significantly. Holy wars can happen. But the Catholics won't declare a holy war, right? Because we're still Christian. My close family will convert. So let's see. High Chieftain Failchad will convert. Joshua will convert. Isaac will convert. Muradak will convert. It seems all of our vassals will convert, including Duke Les of Gwynedd. So the Welsh will also convert, which is nice to see. Let's go ahead and create the faith. Institute Spiritual Head of Faith. I think it will still be the Pope, right? Let's go ahead and create the faith. There we go. The beliefs of Irish insularism can never be changed once it has been created. Do we want to create it? Yes, let's go ahead and create it. And we have a new heir, my daughter. This is where things might be a little bit problem now. Eusonism. Ecumenism. I can't say that word. I need to Google how to say that. So we are now Irish insularist, and we have a new archbishop. There we go. So the first female archbishop of Ireland, I assume. She is an astute intellectual. She has 8 learning. There we go. Welcome to the kingdom of Ireland, and we can imprison criminals. Oh dear. Because he's an adulterer. Oh yes, because male adultery is now criminal. So let's go ahead and look at the faith. So we do have Irish insularists. Wait, what? Oh no, did I rename? I think I named the religion wrong. It should be insular. Irish insular. It's fine. It's fine. We can edit that maybe. I don't think we can, right? Once it's already formed, we can't edit this. Irish insularism. I thought that's what the name would be on the map. It's fine. Right. So we have converted to Irish insularism. Now, one thing we need to do, if we go into succession, You do not have absolute crown authority. We need absolute crown authority, so hopefully we can designate an heir. Otherwise, we have a bit of problem. You're not even in a matrilineal marriage, are you? You are not. So I might have just created some problems for myself. We do have equal gender law. We don't have any of this. When can I form this? July 931. Okay, when it reaches 931, we're going to reform, and then hopefully all is good. Let's go ahead and look at our criminals. High Chieftain Failchad. You are an adulterer. He is 57 though. I think we're going to leave him. Lord Rodri II. He recently joined my realm. You are fornicator, so we could imprison him if we wanted to. And then this guy is also a fornicator. I think we're going to leave it. God is forgiving, and we have converted to a new faith here. Again, if we look at this, it might be a little bit sketchy for the next few years. But let's go ahead and unpause and see what kind of things pop up. There we go, the Irish Insularist Schism. The insular clergy have lost their way and can no longer be trusted to guide us. To remedy this, I have gathered a select group of priors together to discuss the future of our faith. These Irish Insularist priors are encouraging cooperation and tolerance, even towards non-believers, and are promoting asceticism among their followers, claiming that materialistic pursuits block the path to spiritual fulfillment. The Irish Insularist priors have chosen to keep Callistus as their arch-abbot. He will continue to determine religious doctrine and arbitrate interfaith disputes for the entire Irish insular world. So we do still have the Pope. The world will see that God favours us. There we go. We are now finally reformed our religion. Realm will lose land when vassal dies. Okay, so interesting things are about to happen, I feel. We can declare wars. We can declare war on England. I assume that would be a holy war because of religion. I'm not too sure. Why can I declare war on England? Oh, it's just a normal conquer war. Okay. What happened to all of you men? Oh, you have 3,000. That's fine. Right, let's go ahead and unpause. And hopefully some interesting stuff happens here. We do manage to sway Duke Tyke as well. I forgot. He's not a big fan of us, of course, recently joining our realm. But that's okay. And one thing I do want to think about, as my prisoner dies in my dungeon, is who do I give the Kingdom of Wales to? I mean, it was going to go to my second son. But now my first son gets the Kingdom of Wales. Are you in a matrilineal marriage? You're not. Oh dear. Okay, so succession is going to get interesting in future, but that's okay. As we are role-playing, it's going to add some interesting stuff now to the save in future generations, which is good. More stories to get ourselves involved in, as there's a little fight down here between two vassals. Luckily, this guy, though, Ducles, I think he's trying to take this county for himself, which I would actually appreciate because I don't think he converted to Irish Insularism with me. So another prisoner dies in my dungeons as well. And apparently, oh yeah, we were ill from the pilgrimage. My old self, as I woke this morning and saw rays of sunshine falling through my window, it took me a moment to realize I had slept soundly for the first time in weeks. I did not wake up coughing once. I am glad to be well again, so we're no longer ill. That's nice. To the charming High King Failchad of Ireland, I have heard good things about you, and I am interested in starting a written conversation. I hope that this letter finds you willing, for I am waiting for your swift reply. Now, we could decline. Yeah, let's start exchanging letters with the King of England. Maybe he can, we can get an alliance, and maybe he will even join Irish Insularism here. Although he is English, so I don't know if that would make sense. Maybe it would. We'll have to see. Thank you for your swift response. I am looking forward to your correspondence. Please, I implore you, pick the first subject for us to discuss. Now, what kind of man are you? You're intrigue and diplomacy, I see. Let's see, intrigue and diplomacy. What are we knowledgeable? We're knowledgeable on diplomacy, so I assume that would be etiquette. Let us discuss the finer points of etiquette. There we go. I never actually do good at these letter writing events, so hopefully we don't annoy the King of England here. And to the Honourable High King Felchad, are you trying to make me feel like an idiot? There we go. I always fail these. Your last letter was so full of obscura, I could not follow one sentence in three, and to think I used to value our friendship. He loses 15 opinion of us. Does he? He's still at 100 opinion, though. He really likes us. That's nice. Diplomacy perk available. There we go. Let's go ahead and get one of those. We can get True Ruler. Offer vassalization exception plus 20. That could be really good. My granddaughter was taken prisoner. Why? Your daughter... Okay, you're my daughter. Ah, you're married to the King of Sweden. Right, Sweden seems to be in a war. Can I pay to have my granddaughter release? I already clicked it away for some silly reason. Let's see. Granddaughter. I can't actually pay to have her released. Ah, jailer. There we go. Let's see. Declare war. Offer to join war. No, I can't pay to have her released. That's a shame. I would have actually done that. But it looks like it's just not meant to be. Looks like some Viking raids happening up there. We are currently in winter as well. It's 9:29. We're still waiting for 9:31. I can't forget about that. But first, we do have a scheme at court. My spy master has come to me with grave news. While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting to kill my son, Kafnir. Oh no. What's happening here? We must stop the villain behind this. Hopefully it's not my children. Now that everyone has right to succession, hopefully they're not going to be fighting over the succession. I realize we probably actually created quite a messy situation by making such an equal faith here. But it's part of the fun of Crusader Kings 3. Oftentimes getting in these situations is what offers the fun for me. And Duke Tyke has been swayed. He's slowly liking us more and more. We currently don't have any factions against us. I think up until now, other than the Viking invasions, Ireland has actually been a relatively peaceful place. You know, we secured Ireland. We even secured Wales, which will become independent upon succession. So that's good for them as well. We've actually done okay. The Danelaw has been reduced. England is looking strong. Lancaster are independent. Alba have survived. Things are looking okay on the British Isles here. What about in Europe? West Francia looks a bit broken up. So does East Francia. Europe is always the one that gets messy. Does Italy even exist anymore? I don't think it does. It looks like Italy broke up. Or maybe Italy was never formed. I think Italy is formed. Bohemia is looking strong as always. And then up here, Sweden looks to be the dominant Scandinavian force with Denmark as well. So things are looking good. And Iceland was never formed. We can ransom to the benevolent High King Felchad of Ireland. Bofdir Hastening. She's as a true Welsh Norse. Would you let her go in return for this offer? 10 gold. She's not your wife. Or concubine. 10 gold for the Welsh Norse. No. For a moment I thought I was going to be nice, but I decided against it. No, we're not interested in that one. I feel a little bit mean, but we gotta rule with an iron fist sometimes. We can't always be merciful. Let's go ahead and unpause it. So we're in the summer now of 9:29. Things are nice. I think this is the calm before the storm, though. As I said, the succession is going to get very interesting. We really need to pass absolute tribal authority, because with this, let's see, direct vassal opinion, independent tribal. I still don't think we can actually activate designated heir. Because don't we need another technology as well? An innovation here? I think we might need another innovation before we can designate an heir. And I think it's like in one of the early medieval, high medieval periods. We'll have to see. We'll have to see when we get there. But yeah, fun times ahead. I wonder if this guy will accept vassalage now. Offer vassalage. Low feudal? No, not even close. That's okay. It'll be fine. I am looking forward to this being called Wales again as well. We're going to have to help Alba kick out the Isles, but right now we do have an alliance with them. So we can't do anything there. We do have a pop-up. Our Hukum Felchad will soon expire. We can create a duchy. That would give us prestige. And it's in... Let's see. Let's go ahead and create the title here. There we go. We gain 300 prestige. It only costs us 50 gold. It's really not. And we do have too many held duchies now. So let's go ahead and give one of those away. This one here, I'm actually going to gift this to... This is not the way to do this. Let's go ahead and do it this way. I want to gift him the title. Let's go ahead and grant you a title. And I want to give you the High Chieftain of... Dehubath. There we go. That's not how you say that. So let's go ahead and grant him that title. That loses us some stress. He becomes... I mean, he's already a duke, actually. But there we go. Let's keep the Welsh titles in Wales. Obviously, apart from the kingdom title. Now, Fairchad here, our second son, he's almost coming of age. So we're going to have to find him a wife soon. However... I think that might be it for today, because I just looked at the timer and we've hit 31 minutes. It seemed reforming a religion actually takes up quite a bit of time. And there we go, our hook does expire on our vassal here. So as we overlook our kingdom, we do have all of Wales, we have all of Ireland, we do now have a new faith. If we go ahead and look at that, I assume the rest of Ireland will slowly convert to Irish insularism, as well as the Welsh actually. They are also converting to Irish insularism. A bit of Catholic in here as well though. We'll have to keep an eye on what happens in Wales. But that's going to be it for today. I will be back on Thursday with another Crusader Kings 3 video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.